Hi there, I'm Mr. Knox. I'm the ASB advisor here at Bethel High School, and I'm so excited to share with you our ASB Executive Board election process. Now, this process is a little different because we really have two problems in student leadership. The first is that in most student elections, they are either perceived as or they actually are popularity contests. The second is that students who run for specific positions but are not elected are then shut out of serving on the ASB Executive Board. For example, if the two best candidates run for secretary, only one can be elected, and then the other doesn't have the opportunity to serve on the executive board at all. In order to solve these problems, we're going to do things a little bit differently here at Bethel High School, and I thought we should explain to you exactly how that's going to work. So there are going to be three elections really happening at once that are going to determine the makeup of the ASB Executive Board. First of all, we'll have our election for ASB President. Then we'll have our election for our ASB Spirit Leader. And finally, an election for all the other ASB Executive Board positions. Now, these are your ASB Vice President, Secretary, Treasurer, and 2 activities coordinators. Candidates will declare whether they are choosing to run for President, Spirit Leader, or for an Executive Board position. The candidates for President and Spirit Leader will campaign and deliver those speeches on camera. Executive Board candidates will write candidate statements that'll be entered into a pool. Now, thing to note, in addition to writing and delivering their speeches, the candidates for President and Spirit Leader are also going to write candidate statements that will be entered into that Executive Board pool. Then the students will watch a video presentation that consists of the speeches from the presidential candidates, the speeches from the Spirit Leader candidates, and then all of the Executive Board's candidates' statements are going to be read aloud anonymously. Then students will vote on candidates based solely on those statements without their names or faces attached. So it's a blind election. You see the candidate statement, but you will not know who's running until the end when we reveal who has won the Executive Board election. Here's an example of what this might look like. So maybe you have 2 students running for ASB President, and their names are Jared and Tava. And then you have 2 students who are running for ASB Spirit Leader, and that's Alicia and Deshawn. 8 students run for the Executive Board, and that's Brandon, Katie, Raven, Kayla, Juan, Dano, Marguerite, and Tay. So these are your 12 candidates for the ASB Executive Board. The 8 who are running for a board position, the 2 Spirit Leader candidates, and the 2 president candidates. In advisory, students are going to watch the election video. So they'll see the speeches from Jared and Tava, the speeches from the 2 Spirit Leader candidates, and they will hear all of the candidate statements. Their online ballot will look like this: ASB President, Jared Tava; ASB Spirit Leader, Alicia Deshawn, and they'll vote who they want to vote for based on the speeches that they see and the campaigning that's been done ahead of time. They'll also have the third election, where it'll just say candidates 1 through 12, and those 12 candidates will match up with the 12 candidate statements that are read on the video. What the student body at large will not know is the true identity of those 12 candidates, and here they are. Notice as you look at this list that our 4 candidates for President and Spirit Leader are also on here as candidates 9 through 12. So as a student body, those students will vote for their president choice, their Spirit Leader choice, and then any 5 members of this Executive Board, any 5 candidates that they believe will serve them best in the next year. Now, let's say that Jared wins the election for ASB President and Alicia wins the election for ASB Spirit Leader. So behind the scenes, we remove Jared's name from the executive candidate pool because he's just been elected to a position. He's going to be our ASB President. Likewise, we remove Alicia's name from the list because she's going to serve as our ASB Spirit Leader. Then, out of the remaining 10 candidates, the top 5 are elected to our ASB Executive Board. And for the sake of our hypothetical, let's say that those top 5 are Marguerite, Brandon, Deshawn, Raven, and Dano. As we look at this, please note that Deshawn was not elected ASB Spirit Leader, but because he got the third highest number of votes, he still gets to serve as one of those other positions on the ASB executive board. At this point, our ASB executive board is set. We have our students, President Jared, Spirit Leader Alicia, and then our 5 top vote getters. Throughout the spring, this team is going to work together with the ASB advisor, and they're going to decide which of these 5 are going to do which job on the executive board. So as they get to know each other, they learn about each other's strengths and weaknesses, each other's unique gifts and talents. They ultimately determine that their ASB executive board is going to look like this: President Jared, Vice President Deshawn, Secretary Raven, Treasurer Dano, Activities Coordinators Marguerite and Brandon, and then our previously elected Spirit Leader is Alicia. If you have any questions about this process, please send me an email. I'll be happy to clear anything up, explain anything you need. We understand that this is a new process and a process that is probably unlike student body elections that you've seen before. So we want to make sure that you are really aware of how this is going to work and all the steps of the process before you decide whether or not you are going to run. As it says on the slide, we're looking forward to a fun and exciting process. We can't wait for you to come alongside us as ASB executive officers. If you have any questions, please let me know. Have fun, be safe, take care, embrace the day, people.